literally looking at me. I wish you could see this, but I don't want to like screw up my camera right now. So anyway, the bird's looking at me. He just left, but he was literally talking to me. I think I'm communicating with the birds now. This one bird likes me a lot. I feel like it's the same bird that keeps coming by every day. I think he lives here in this tree. I think I've lost my mind. Betty, you want to see my basil? Check this out. My basil plant's legit. I'm about to pick this basil and put it in an omelet right now. Look. First of all, check out this planter. It has feet on it. This planter. This basil smells legit. Here's the basil. And it has a flag in it. I don't know who put this flag in it. Look. This is the planter. This basil got crazy. I just repotted it recently. It was in a different pot. So I'm gonna pick some of these basil leaves for my omelet. Let's see. This looks like a good one. I've been meaning to hang up the basil and dry it. The feet are good, right? Look at this piece of basil. Let me tell you something. You know what's delish? An egg white omelet with basil and provolone. I think I might do that today, to be honest with you. I'm gonna go egg white omelet, basil, and provolone. And technically you can put everything but the bagel seasoning in it from Trader Joe's. Thank God I stocked up on that. I have like five bottles of it at least. How much basil are we gonna do? I think I'm gonna do a ton. Let's go to this side over here. You wanna see the feet again, Betty, or no? You growing basil or no? It grows again. Basil's amazing. Basil's like the easiest thing to grow. You don't have to do anything. Like, I planted this huge garden at my parents' house. Huge. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. It's kind of an experiment, and it was just something. You're good on the feet? You don't want to see it again? Anyway, the point is this. I planted a huge garden at my parents' house. Your basil looks thin. You have like a terrace or a balcony? Where do you have your basil? Basil does good when it's outside. If you have it like in your kitchen in the window and stuff, it doesn't do as good. I think it just needs air, to be honest with you. So anyway, I'm growing this garden for my parents. It was a nice project. We set up this huge garden at my parents' house, and hey Dad, you're back on. So it's kind of an experiment though to see if it works, because I've never done a garden before and I've always wanted to have a garden, and I thought it would be a nice project. So you have it in your kitchen window. The window is open. You know what it is? Basil needs a lot of soil though. So if you have it like in a tiny little pot, it's not gonna grow that big, to be honest with you. I had my basil when I first got it a couple weeks ago in the little pot that it came in, and I kept it in that pot for a little bit, and then once I changed it into this pot, once I put it in the big pot, look at how much basil I got. I'm telling you, you might need to put it in a bigger pot, to be honest with you. This coffee is really, I am flying right now. Yeah, you need to repot the coffee. I'm like out of my mind. You need to repot the basil immediately. You should get off the phone with me when we end this call here and go repot it, seriously. You know what I'm gonna do with the basil? Let me tell you. Besides the omelet we've already talked about, I bought these huge tomatoes. Organic beefsteak tomatoes. I like the big tomatoes. I got these nice beefsteak tomatoes, but also I like vine tomatoes too, okay? Obviously cherry tomatoes, which I put in my salad, but I'm gonna go nice caprese salad, and I'm gonna do beefsteak tomato, And then I got olive oil and put this new balsamic vinegar on it, and I'm gonna put this basil on it. Now obviously you're like, oh well, you should be putting mozzarella on it, fresh mozzarella. Unfortunately I don't have fresh mozzarella. I don't have any mozzarella. None. Literally none. If you were to be like, Max, do you have mozzarella? The answer to that question would be no. I got none. But I do have provolone, which also would be good. So I'll probably tonight, I'm gonna go, oh, you know what I have too? I got nice cucumbers. I got cucumbers. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Scratch that whole, back up. I forgot that I have feta. I have fresh feta cheese that I just got at North Shore Farms. Like fresh. From Greece. It wasn't cheap. I got a block too. I think it's like when you go to Greece, they give you like a huge chunk of feta cheese. They don't do that crumbled feta. That's like an Americanized version of feta. They give you a block of feta cheese and they put it, like a nice chunk of it, on top of the salad. So, what's up, my chiropractic friend who just popped in? I don't know how the conversation turned into making a Greek salad with fresh feta, but that's what we're talking about now. I think you know how we got to this conversation, because we were talking about the basil that I just picked from my plant. So, here's my plant. Here you go, Betty. I'm showing you the feet again. Look, it even has a pedicure and my basil. So, basically, I've got this feta cheese from North Shore Farms, and it's nice. It's from Greece too, so it wasn't cheap. And I got fresh cucumbers, and I got my beefsteak tomatoes, and this fresh basil that I just grew on my step here outside. So that's going to be the salad tonight. Cucumbers, tomato, basil, and feta with olive oil and balsamic vinegar. That's it. I'm going to have that tonight. And I just bought this Impossible, you know, the Impossible meat that they sell? Impossible burgers and stuff. I love that stuff. It's not cheap, by the way. I know that they say that there's like a lot of sodium in it or whatever, but I love that stuff. Like I used to get that on my Dos Toros in the city all the time. I get a bowl with the Impossible meat on it. It's delicious. I honestly feel like it's the closest tasting plant-based meat substitute that's ever been created. You know, like I was eating Boca burgers for years, and I still eat Boca burgers, but that doesn't taste like meat at all. Like, you know that that's not meat. You know, garden burgers obviously don't resemble meat at all. But Impossible burgers are delish. But I recently just bought these Impossible sausages. So I'm gonna try it tonight on the grill. They look like real sausages, but they're made out of, you know, the same stuff that the plant-based stuff that the Impossible burgers are made. What's the other company again? Oh, Beyond is Impossible, and then there's Beyond Meat, right? Those are the two. I like them both, to be honest with you. But I think I like Impossible better, though. You know? I feel like people are into that stuff these days. Probably should have invested in that years ago. You know? You watch all these specials on, like, Netflix and stuff about how the world's gonna run out of meat. And what about now with the pandemic? The cost of meat has gone up so much, it's crazy. It's really expensive because they had to shut down all these plants that made, like, you know, these meat packing plants and stuff had coronavirus, so they shut them down. So then the cost of meat went up. So then they said this whole thing with the pandemic, besides from everything else in the world going on, like, it really showed the world, you know, a lot that there was an issue with the food supply, especially when it started. They couldn't even, like, have enough food. Scary. It was a point where people thought we were going to run out of food in the world. People were, like, hoarding and stocking up on everything. It was nuts. I'm pretty stocked up, to be honest with you. I have like a storage closet in my basement that's just packed with food right now. God forbid we ever have an issue. I was like, did you see that? I just freaked out. I couldn't find my coffee. I just literally almost had a heart attack. I thought my coffee disappeared. Literally, I thought it disappeared. It was behind me, which is so weird. I don't even remember putting it behind me. I thought it was next to me, but it actually was behind me. It's true. Ugh, this nitrous is killer. I can't make a habit of this. I swear to God, I'm sweating right now. I could feel literally like caffeine coming through my skin. It's amazing because like drinking a full pot of like regular coffee for me, even though my coffee is really strong, a lot of dark roast stuff and like French roast, Brazilian, I'd say Ethiopian becoming one of my favorite coffees. I could drink a full pot of that and be fine. Nitrous is insane. Oh my God. I can't believe I've been yapping for like an hour. I just got the 2-minute warning that my live is over. It's crazy. That's the funniest thing about my coffee talk. I don't care. There was a time last week where I did a coffee talk and my first 10 minutes of my talk, there wasn't one person on it. I don't care. I was literally talking to myself for like 10 minutes. It was hilarious. I posted it as one of my posts last week where I literally was talking to myself about the pandemic and the coronavirus for like 10 minutes and not one person was on my live. So that's how I'm living.